I'd like to preface this video by saying sorry for the bad quality of the video. I'm not really sure how to fix it. Um, and also that the gameplay sounds are looped twice. I accidentally added two channels for gameplay sounds, so they're like that. Sorry. Anyway, back to the video. Hello, my name's Holly. You've seen the title. So I've created well, some of it. You can the Whitepine Manor in Minecraft. You can see some of it here is unfinished. I've got pink wool in the places where to support the glass. Sorry by the way, I'm kind of bad on camera. Um, yeah. So I've got uh most of the interior, most of the interior and exterior complete. Some parts like this little shed area aren't done. I'm planning to make the backyard and the front yard probably the greenhouse if I can find enough clips of it. And not the gatehouse. I don't plan on making the gatehouse. But yeah. So what I'm going to be doing throughout this video is I'm gonna give you a tour, and then I'm going to explain how I made every room, if I can remember. Um, what I didn't know is that this mod pack I'm using with Axiom in it, it has the replay mod, so which is fun. So I'm going to be splicing in some speed building throughout this video when I'm editing it. So anyway, starting with the front facade, this was the beginning of the build. I started with these stairs. There are frames in the second and first episode. No, sorry, the third and first episode that show the beginning here. Oh, actually, I think all of the episodes show the front. Yeah. But it's really useful because it shows curtains, and the curtains are important because you can differentiate where the rooms are. So, and I'll elaborate on that later. So yeah, I'd say the hardest part of this is these side things. They took me a bit of time to find, but in the third episode, there's a scene where Ivory is standing right here, and you can just about make out the patterns on the side of here. And it's useful because these patterns are 1, 2, 2, 1, so you can tell how big they are. And in the I'd like to say the third. The third. No, earlier that one, that was episode 4. This is the third episode, and there's an overhead shot of the mansion, and you can make out the dimensions of the bushes here. These aren't exact replicas. Well, they are exact replicas on one side, I can't really remember, but I used the mirror symmetry tool on Axiom to make this, just so I don't torture myself by building everything block by block. But yeah, this is the front entryway. One of the hardest parts was this freaking... I've actually done the back too, but this one was the easier one. I don't really remember how long it took, maybe 30 minutes, but yeah. Going in here, I'd say the hardest room to build is this, in fact, this entryway. It's one of the first rooms, but it is the hardest because the only decent scenes you really get of this is when you get Misty Cat's murder, and you go through this door, and you can see this back area here, but that's the only shot you get of this back area. and sprinkled throughout the rest of the show, there it shows like some of this, but mostly this shot of just the staircase like this, which blacks out important things like what's on these shelves, right? But there is one shot when Raptor and Ivory are coming upstairs. I don't remember what for. No, it's Ivory and Pyro, I think. And it shows that there is indeed a lantern here. I don't really know what was on here, this side, because, you know, but I extrapolated that it's probably a fern, because to mirror. Yeah. Oh, I have a story about this jukebox. So when I was building this, it was rotated away where it was like, it was facing this way, so the jukebox was, you know, and I had to flip the whole thing around and like, and it was disaster. This is Clown Pierce's office. These are plants, yes. And these curtains, they're actually quite fun. It's a really intricate design. I'm not really sure if anyone's really done this before Whitepine, but it's really cool. You'd like extrude these parts to make it look like, you know, the bends of the curtains. Now, this button here, it doesn't really... What it does is it opens the door in the Create mod, but I don't have the Create mod right now on this mod pack because they don't have Create Fabric for 1.20.4. Yeah, this is basically the main foyer. This stupid chandelier. Okay, this is the worst part of this entire build. The hardest part of this build was to make this chandelier because it shows up like sometimes on like certain scenes. There's this one scene where Ivory's told to get the cot by Clown Pierce, and it shows this sneaky little shot just peeking over. And you can barely make out that there's in fact 2 chains and not 1 chain. But you could tell already because if it were 1 chain, it would go like almost into the glass, but it doesn't. It like goes right through, so you can tell it's 2 chains. What's weird about this chandelier is that it doesn't have an extra chain here for this lantern. Which I'm pretty sure is just because there's this thing, but it kind of bothers me because OCD stuff. Yeah, second floor. I'll be exploring the first floor first since it's the most decorated. Continuing on, we have Clown Pierce's office. This is kind of self-explanatory, although like the roof, they didn't really show the roof here. But like I thought it'd be probably stripped dark oak because some of the other rooms in the first floor also have this. Anyway, continuing on, we have this little hallway. Now you might think this hallway doesn't come up that much, but it does come up a lot. Actually, I think 4 times? The first time, of course, it's Misty Cat's murder. Go through here and look through this way, which is the way I got how this door looked. And you can barely make out that there's a table here. The second scene is when in episode 2, in the kitchen scene where it shows bits of the house, it shows this part where Ivo is, I think Ivo, is walking down this hallway and then like goes down to the lounge. And you can see that this is a painting here. Now behind this painting is actually a window, but you've covered that up. But it's been covered up. Oh shoot. But it's been covered up by a painting here because it is 3 by 7, and this hallway is 4 by I don't know how long. Anyway, yeah, that's this hallway. And down here, while we're talking about this hallway, we have the lounge. Now, this lounge is also pretty self-explanatory. The roofs are typically quite tricky because they aren't the focal point, but in specific scenes we can tell that these are slabs, or else you wouldn't be able to see the stairs, or else you wouldn't be able to see this like side of the stripped oak. And this bookshelf doesn't appear at all. What I thought it was looking like this was because there's a scene where Ivory's calling Zombie over back to his room, and you can kind of make out that there's like a stair there, and it kind of mirrors this slabs thing, and there's a lantern up here as well. But yeah, this isn't really shown, and I'm not quite sure what it looks like. This is probably just a service room. It doesn't get shown in the show though. Yeah, this is this part, and okay, so you have this secondary hallway that looks like in the point where Missy Cat's murder reveal is happening, this kind of looks like just a singular hallway, but there is a shot, again in episode 2 actually, where you can see that this is a longer hallway. Unfortunately, I couldn't tell if this door was here or not, but it's kind of implied to be there, to be symmetrical with the rest of the house. This is the laundry room. These are, I forgot what they're called, but basins probably. These banners here, I thought they were just single gray banners, but if you look closely in like a scene in episode 4, no, in episode 2 actually, again, that it's like a really useful scene for all of this actually. It's like it shows off all of the bits that other scenes don't. You can tell that there's actually these grains bit, and that's produced by overlaying a gray banner with like the stripes of a light blue banner, and then putting another gray back on there. Now, these are rooms for, I'm presuming, washing the different servants' clothing. We can see people coming in and out of these, but we don't actually see the insides, unfortunately. This is the servants' dining room. This is actually quite easy because there are a number of scenes with this in it. It is a pretty big room. These slabs here, these chairs, again, I don't have the create mod, so I can't put the seats here, but in future episodes, after episode 1, they actually do have the slabs here instead of seats. So yeah, that's servants. This hallway, this is the hallway where Clown Pierce talks to Ivory about skipping lunch. And it's also the adjoining hallway with the staircase, secondary staircase that goes up and down. There's this candle here. There's this bookshelf. Yeah. Speaking about this hallway, we have the basement, which is, which has working redstone. There's redstone up here. Hold on. It's actually redstone up here, and it does function, and it goes into the piano room too. So this one took, I'd like to say, an hour and a half. It took me a bit to figure out, but it was quite fun placing these like clutter things together. Can't really make it out, but there is a head back here, but I couldn't tell what it was, so I just reused the chest head from here. All of the heads in this are from like the head index thing. I forgot what it's called, but they're all sourced from there. Which is quite simple for me, so I don't have to search up Minecraft chest head every single time. Now this boiler thing, this is what I'm assuming this looks like. You can only really see that there's stairs here, and you can kind of make out that there's like a stair here and a slab here. And with extrapolation, you can probably tell that I put these stairs here to match up with these, but you can't really see that. Anyway, this room is a nothing, and this is the piano. Now this piano is actually from a tutorial. It's a edited piano from a tutorial on YouTube, and I found it pretty quickly. But when I did see this piano, I was like, I'm pretty sure I saw this somewhere, and I did. It was a tutorial. Anyway, these piano keys are dragon skulls. I'll probably link the tutorial for this piano in the description, but it is like a 4x3 instead of a this big. Yeah, this is a piano. And getting back up here, we have this service room that leads into the shed area. This is the beginning scene of episode 3 when Ivory gets out here, getting confronted by the detective, and you can kind of make this out, and that's where I got the location of this area. This is also where Misty gives Ivory the brush, a brush, yeah, with Raptor. And this hallway pops up a few times. This is the kitchen. In the scene where Misty is killed, these brown carpet are actually not on the table for some reason. I'm not quite sure why, but in later scenes, the brown carpet is in fact on the table. And the table here is mostly from episode 1, but some of this, like these pots, are actually from episode 4, when Ross finds Lopez in the kitchen, and there are these pots here. The heads here, they took me quite a bit. Specifically this one stumped me for the longest time because I thought this was a roast, but it's in fact a fish, a cooked fish. This is spinach, and not a jar. I thought this was a jar when I first saw it, so I couldn't really find it. This kitchen is pretty solid. This took me quite a bit. I didn't really know what this looked like until I rewatched episode 2 in that one scene with the kitchen, and you actually see this. This is where you get the beets, and it's from this specific weird-looking jar with the carrot. That's the kitchen. This is the main hallway of the house. There's a scene where Clown Pierce talks to Ivory here about going to town, and you can see the orange curtains here, and these curtains are important because they are the only orange curtains in the house, and you can see them from the front entrance. Where you can see the overview of the house, you can see that they are orange curtains, so you can extrapolate that the main hallway is in fact here. An additional scene in episode 4, episode 3, Sir Raptor and Ivory are here, and Ivory's talking about how she has to do a bunch of stuff, and Sir Raptor's telling her to chill down, and they walk down this hallway, and it's a pretty good scene because it shows off most of this hallway, and in fact this door to the ballroom. And it shows off that there is a doorway here, there's a doorway there, and there is a doorway here, which goes into the main serving room, as shown when Sir Raptor walks in here. The chandeliers take quite a bit of time, but they're very pretty. This pattern stumped me for the longest time. About 1 hour-ish, but I figured it out. It was mostly this, like, circular disc thing. It took me really long time because it's finicky, and I wasn't really sure if there's calcite here or if there wasn't. But the rest of this room is pretty self-explanatory. Oh, this room, this is actually a doorway outside, but I didn't really build it because they don't show it off. In fact, this is kind of screwed up, this area. I will fix it if they show it, but for now it's just gonna look like that. Anyway, moving on, we have this service room, and you can tell its location because you can see it when Zaraptor and Ivory are walking down here, and also in the scene where in episode 2 again, the cooking scene, you can see a slideshow of a montage of a bunch of doors, and this is one of them shown. This service hallway, and that's how I got most of this. There are armor stands here, but I'm not really sure what they are. In episode 3 or 4, there is like a shot that looks like this, and you can barely make out that there's like a chainmail helmet here, and that this is a leather helmet. But this is a full leather helmet here, whereas in episode 2, this is a leather helmet dyed white. But I'm sticking to episode 2 because I think it looks better. Pretty self-explanatory. This took me a little bit to figure out. I was stumped on what this was until I realized that it was the ballroom, because I had already made the serving room, and I had already made this hallway, and it's only big enough to fit a room this size, and all of the rest of the rooms were already figured out on the first floor, which meant that the ballroom was the only one left. And you can tell it's on the first floor because you can see the white here, the white arch as well, and the tree line. The tree line is very useful because it's really close to the window, and you can really only get that on the side of the house. And like the gap between the windows too. This is 5, whereas the front it's over here. Over here it's 3, and then 5 on the sides. So you can tell that it is on the sides, and it fits right here in the hallway, across from the ballroom, which I will get to next. This is the biggest room in the house thus far, and it is shown not as much. It isn't really shown. In episode 1, there's a scene where Ivory and Zaraptor are cleaning this room, but you can't really see these doors, which wasn't very useful to me. Well, it was useful because you could see that there's this amethyst block here, and there's the patterns, so I was able to create them from that. And these mushroom stems and quartz pillar are actually the backing of this central staircase. It's copied here. And these stripped dark oak wood backings are actually the wall of the kitchen that extend through here. It's pretty cool. Now these doors, you may be wondering how I got the designs of the doors if they weren't shown in episode 1, and that's because in episode 2, again in the doorway scene, they have a shot that shows the entrance of the ballroom here, and you can tell that there's a quartz pillar here. There are 2 travertine walls with candles here, and you just barely make out half of the door design, which is just enough to copy it on the other side and copy it on this side too. Let's get down to the second floor. Now this is the central dais where Misty was killed. Chandelier. Let's start off with the art room. This was pretty easy because there's a shot that shows most of this. in episode 1 where Raptor and Ivory are cleaning it. Now, these back paintings were a little bit tricky, but when Raptor's talking to Ivory here, it shows off that this is the Albanian painting. And there's a later scene in episode 4 when the detective is chasing Ivory, where you can tell that this painting here is this painting. Because, you know, it's different from the other 2x2s. And as well as that, you can barely make out the fact that this is the By the Beach side painting. Which led me to believe that this was a, 2x1 painting wall. That's the art room. These two doors actually lead into the ballroom on the second floor here. This room is the guest room. Now, how did I know this was the guest room? Well, number one, the curtains. The curtains are white, and in the shots with the front of the house, these curtains are white. Now, they could be assumed to be they could be sandstone walls, but I chose travertine because I was pretty sure this is the guest room, based on the dimensions and the fact that the wine room is here. Therefore, there can't be any other room. The back here, in episode 2, preparing for the Duke to arrive, you can see Ivory and Raptor cleaning this room. And you can't really see the back, but you can tell there is a bed here. In episode later in the episode, there's the doorway scene again, and you can see this shot. While it's not really indicative of anything, the fact that this carpet is black wool and the guest room has black wool, it led me to believe that this specific entryway was the one with the drawers and the table. And I flipped it on this side to match with the bed. Now this leads into Izzy's study. Her study isn't really shown, at all. There isn't really anything here. You can only really make out what's in the study from this one scene of Ivory asking Izzy in episode, I want to say 3, and an overhead shot of Izzy putting books back in the bookshelf. And on that front, we have this hallway. Now, this is where I presume Zombie's office to be, but I'm pretty sure this is where it is, because all of the other 3x window spaces are already taken up on the second floor. But this room here, is Prince's room. This is Prince Sam's room, and this closet door is always open. And this is the bathroom. I unfortunately don't have enough information for what the bathroom looks like. But there is a bathroom there. This is pretty self-explanatory. This room, I don't know what this room is. But this is here. Moving on, we have this hallway with this door to Izzy's study, and we have this painting hallway. Now you can tell where this is when Moo wants Ivory to get her bag for her. So she goes down this hallway and moves down here. You can tell that these are bone blocks because they are vertical blocks. And they aren't quartz pillar. And they are also white. Go down this hallway and into the art room where she finds a detective. But this is the location, in fact, of the painting area. This room is unknown. And this room, I'm pretty sure, is Moo's room. But it's also unknown. And this is Pyrocype's room. And the bathroom yet again isn't really shown, so there's nothing there, and the closet here isn't really shown either. But yeah, self-explanatory. It shows the ceiling here. And that's this area. Now this area is a little bit work in progress. I've got a little bit of it figured out. But basically this is a shot found in episode 2, I think, where there's a painting here. 2 down. And it shows one of the servants going in this direction, and there's a staircase here. No, sorry, the staircase is over here. Actually, I'll take this out, but you can tell that the staircase is here because in a shot with the back of the house, you can see the staircase here. And this is white wall, and these 2 windows are actually blocked off. Now, let's see. That's the family side of the 2nd floor, but there's also the servant side, which can be accessed through here. Now I'm pretty sure there is a door here, but I'm not certain. Just because Ivory walks down this hallway like this in one scene, and it'd be strange if she was just walking through this door and back here, and there isn't like a symmetrical door on this side. Because there is a door here. And this is where there's a closet where Ivory is tasked to get the cot, but she can't find it. And here's one of the Raptor and Ivory cleaning scenes. This is most shown when Lopez finds Ivory vomiting in the maid's showers. And you can see this here and this doorway here that leads into the ballroom. This is the maid's showers. I'm not sure what the butler's showers look like, but I'm pretty sure they're mirrored to the maid's one. But they are 1 block smaller, so I'm not quite sure. And yeah, this is the staircase going up here. And yeah, that's the 2nd floor. 3rd floor here, this is where Ivory gets interrupted by Ivo when she's curious about this door. Of course, we don't know what's inside here yet. But in a later scene, in episode 2 in fact, again, that's like the best episode for all of these random doorways and like connection areas. You can see that it goes 1, 2, and then half. But I put 5 here because in another shot in episode 2, when everyone's going back to their chambers, you can see this, and there's 2 blocks here, and then a pillar. And we know this is the servants' rooms because, first off, these are spruce doors, and secondly, there are these trapdoors on the top. And they're only present in the servant rooms. This is Raptor and Ivory's room. Now you might have noticed that I haven't made the other rooms yet, and that's because they don't really fit in the dimensions of this room. I could copy-paste this, but it wouldn't be the same and I have to edit them greatly. So I've just created Raptor and Ivory's room. And that's what I've got on the 3rd floor mostly. There's also an unconnected part, and that is V's room. And this is the entryway of V's room, visible in episode 2 again in the doorway scene. And when you enter here, it's pink, And I could tell the location of this because in episode 3, um, where Raptor and Ivory are on the roof and Clown Pierce almost gets them. They sneak their way on the roof to find an open window, and this is the open window they sneak into, which is on this side of the house. And I know for a fact that this is the window they sneak into because on the back of the house there actually aren't windows. And yeah, this is V's room. Not sure where these doors connect off to, but you know. So on the back of the house here, this is the last stop of our tour. This is the back. The garden's going to be here. It's 7 blocks back from this stairwell. But this is the pattern here. I tried my best, but I'm pretty sure I made some mistakes. There's a lot of fence gates and fence posts here, and it's really hard to tell because the two scenes that these are featured in, one is rainy and you can't really see the details, and two is blocked by the fountain, so you can't really see anything in the middle here. But what I find really cool is that it has this like chain kind of symbol here. Could be symbolizing something, but I'm not sure. Yeah, this is the back of the house. Again, more unfinished areas. This is eventually going to be the 3rd story stairwell. On the topic of rooms that I haven't built yet, there's Zombie's office, which I'm pretty sure is here. And there is Miss Hemlock's old piano room, which is on the 3rd floor, because when you look through the birch doors, they have windows. You can see these terracotta blocks. And they're only here in this specific hallway leading into V's room. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere along here. You can tell it's also on the 3rd floor because you can see these, I don't know what they're called, but they're like the roof toppers. You might know as well that there's a smokestack here, a smoke chimney, around this side of the house, and the reason I haven't built that yet is because I'm not sure where it is. While it does show the entryway of how to get into the 3rd floor, get onto the roof, it doesn't really show where it is, it just shows a close-up of it. And that's where you can tell where the smokestack is. But unfortunately, since we don't know where that is, we don't know where the smokestack is. Anyway, yeah, that's the house. I'll be making, when I'm satisfied with what we have currently, I'll be making a Planet Minecraft download, or like, if I find a way to post this map online. And yeah, I'll be updating this when new Whitepine episodes release, and obviously we can see more of the house. But yeah, that's all we've got thus far. Thank you for watching this video. Like and subscribe, probably. I'll probably make more of these videos, update videos on building this, but yeah. Whitepine is a fantastic show, and I probably spoiled. I should probably put a spoiler warning in the beginning of the video, but yeah, this is the Whitepine Manor as I've built it thus far. Thank you.